to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yo, 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 yo. Ooh, not on the right one. Here we go. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Epic Smasher, and today is Motivational Monday. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. Jake, I see you. Puma, Deli, Sherry, what up? Sammy, Whammy, Ben, Esmeralda. What's going on, my friends? Good to see you all. Ow, ow. Dang, lighting on point. Lighting is good. We good. Yep. It does look really good, actually. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Make sure I'm in the perfect spot. Okay. Nope. Yes, there we go. There we go. Great to have you with us. Esmeralda, welcome. Welcome, Esmeralda's new. That's how you know you a bossy boss. We already got people over on Abstract. We got everybody on TikTok and Twitch and Facebook and YouTube. I see y'all. Jameer says, yo, remember me? I remember a Caldwell. I don't know if it's from Twilight. You guys, today is Motivational Monday. And on Motivational Monday, you guys have questions that whether you ask them the week before or you ask them on the stream, I will be answering them. Now, I do not get access. I do not see what these questions are until they're put into the chat. Thankfully, we have Ben, my brand manager. Ben he feeds through all of the questions. And then on that day, this very moment in the chat, he will put the question. I will read it. And then you will get an authentic answer from me. Okay? Jameer says, from YouTube, let's go, Jameer. Footballs. Oh, I can't read that football. I wish I could. But welcome. Football Edits World. Welcome. I appreciate you for being here. You guys smash that like button. That's right, Ben. Jake smashing that like button. Let's go. Matt smashing that follow button. Welcome to the Smashers. Boom, baby. Ow, ow. That's right. I like it. Alex is here. Alex smashing that like button. What up, my boy? So if you guys have a question, you can put it in the chat. If you don't have a question, you're going to be hearing all other individuals' questions from the week before. I'm super excited to be here for you guys. This day is all about you. So I'm super excited. We're going to start off with the first question. Alex, what's up, boy? How you doing, my friend? White Shadow says, thank you, White Shadow, for the 1K super chat. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, but White Shadow, welcome, bro. Ben says, peep the new thumbnail on YouTube. Yeah, I want to know what you guys think about the thumbnail on YouTube. For shout. Begin that for shout. You know what I mean? All right, we are going to be going into the first question. Caroline. What up, Caroline? Welcome. Good to see you. Sherry says, I haven't checked it out yet. Go check it out. Kina Maro says, I'm into coffee. What is that? What is that? I don't know what that means, Kina. Chantel says, hey, what up, Chantel? Good to see you. Everybody here, you guys are all amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sherry smashing that like button. Chantel smashing that like button. Alex smashing that like button. Let's go. There you go, Caroline. Caroline. Something, Caroline. Google it? I don't know if I want to, can I don't know if something weird's going to pop up. Jameer says, yo, I'm going to check some other live streams. I'll come back. All right, Jameer, we'll see you soon, bro. I'm going to remember you, bro. Sherry says, my fingers are going to be hurting me. That's what we talking about. Hitting that like button. I'll sub to you, says Caroline. That's how you know you cool. Bossy boss. Noah, welcome. Noah says, beans. Cool, beans. He says, you just never know. Thank me later. I'll have somebody do the research for me. Moon says, will you remember him? I will remember him. Jameer Caldwell. I'll remember Jameer Caldwell. That's right. Ben says, yo, to Moon Fierce. Moon Fierce, welcome. Appreciate you. Share the stream to anybody who needs some positivity in their life. A little bit of smiles, a little bit of greatness. Caroline says, done. Caroline, smashing that follow button. Welcome to the Smashers. Boom, baby. Ow. Moon Fierce Paul says, hi, Ben. There we go. I like it. Sherry says, I know nothing. I just moderate. You know all. All right, Ben. Ready for the first question. Brendan, welcome. Cool Stream says, Caroline. Thanks, Caroline. Caroline, is it cool that I sing it every time I see your name? Because that's just what happens in my brain. Summit says, bro, random question. All right, hit me with it. If it's appropriate, I'll read it. Brennan says, hello, Epic. What up, Brennan? Ghost says, me, Beast. You the Beast? You the Beast, Ghost? Good to have you, bro. Noah says, the ADHD. For real, I got it. I got it in the bag. I don't know what that means. Give me the definition of that. Summit. Mr. Beast! It's Mr. Beast, says Ghost. Bro. I get mistaken for Mr. Beast all the time, guys. All the time. It's literally something that happens all the time. Literally. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Kino says, I will donate if you don't sing. Kina, I hear people say they'll donate all the time and don't, so I'll sing my heart out. Okay, I love singing. You literally look like Jimmy, they said. Summit says, sometimes it gives clarity. Summit. However, at the same time, if you overdo it, it could cause problems. That's why it's important to save your life force as much as you can for the appropriate time. Mr. Beast's dad? What? I have never seen his dad, so I don't know what his dad looks like. You literally look like him. Jameer is back. We remember you, Jameer. Kina says, okay, understood. Can you sing, says Carolina. I can sing. I don't know if y'all will like it, but I can sing. I love to sing, actually. I love to sing all the time. I sing at home all the time. I sing on my free time all the time. Moon says, I was just upset when I saw 5 stars on Jimmy's jacket in Pilot Challenge. Why? Why were you upset? I thought it was cool. It was such a great challenge. That was so dope. If you guys didn't see me react to it, go back to one of the previous videos I react to it. I thank you. Thank you so much. I wish I could pronounce your name, but if you can tell me your name, 1207. You seem like a very nice guy. Thank you. Thank you. I take pride in it. I take pride in being a good guy, not necessarily a nice guy. Yeah. Because sometimes you can't always be the nice guy. Sometimes you just got to be the guy that's right for you. You know, you got to be the person who's willing to say it as it is. And some people may not like it, and that's cool. You're not always going to be the most liked. Sometimes you will. You just got to be you. And that's who I am. Mr. Beast first, Mr. Beast. Okay. What if you were a famous singer? They probably wouldn't do that. I don't know. I'm a entertainer. We'll say that. I can sing high. I can sing low. I like to sing, period. Some people say I have an angelic voice. Some people laugh. Some people are embarrassed that they don't have the same courage. Sometimes I just sing at random moments in random stores and get views and all the good stuff. I just like to sing. It's fun. I did like the challenge. It was just like when I saw the 5-star and I knew it was the FFC 5-star, which is Fleet Force Admiral, which is a high ranking. Ooh, well, maybe he got it from somebody he knows. Or maybe he's just the high-ranking Mr. Beast. Summit says, bro, do you think your soul will reach God? Yeah, it reaches God every day. Every day I pray as best as I can. Every day I have gratitude. Every day I'm thinking how I can help somebody in whatever way I can. Show up for somebody else. I'm only here every day because somebody needs me, not because I need to be here. So I'm blessed. I have a great relationship with God, and it only gets stronger. So thank you for that question. Ben says, can we get 20 likes on YouTube? That's right. Yo, that's right. You are not a $100 bill. God bless you, brother. Thank you. I will never sell my soul for any kind of dollar bills, y'all. I love God, and God puts me here for the purpose. I'm here for him, and I'm here for you guys because you are God's people. And I want to give you guys the chance, just like Jesus gave individuals a chance when he died and was resurrected 3 days later. During that time that he died, he ended up going to hell just to preach to individuals who were stuck there so he could potentially bring them to heaven, change their perspective. Now, I didn't know this until maybe a year ago, but a long time ago, I made a choice. And you guys can think this is weird. You guys can think whatever you want. I don't care. This is just something that's internally in me. I declared years ago, before I knew this, which is, it just tells me that I'm on the right path, which is amazing validation. But I said to myself that there's times of, what is it? We're in Revelations, right? So the time that God comes back and he takes everybody to heaven, right? I personally don't want to go right away. I personally want to give a chance to individuals who don't know him or weren't advised or didn't know or maybe just didn't believe at the time. I want to give them a chance to still get the opportunity to go to heaven. And I thought about this for the longest time, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to be somebody who's left behind in a sense and help others find their way. Give them that one last chance. And then a year ago, I come across where Jesus died on the cross and he was resurrected 3 days. And I was like, well, what did he do during that time? Well, that's what he did. He went to hell and he was preaching to those who were not believers and gave them a chance, gave them an opportunity. And it really touched home because that's what I want to do. So I feel more connected in that way. So thank you. Great question. Let's see. Happy holidays. Thank you. Let's see what we got. Some great questions. Great questions. Jameer says, why is every one of your streams have thousands of people, but now we only have 4? Well, it just depends on the day. I haven't seen 1,000 yet. We haven't broke 1,000, but we have gotten up to like 700. So I think that was really cool. Caroline says, singing is 10 out of 10. Same, bro. I talk to God every day. Love God. That's amazing. I love that so much. Moon Fierce says, also, Ben, if there's a controversial opinion, tell me. If you can't handle negative comments, then just ignore them. But in my opinion, react positively toward them. Exactly. That's what we do. Someone says, bro, a girl said you look nice, and I'll say, thanks, darling. I'ma look like a Greek god when I'm bald, and she kissed me. Cool. There you go. Confidence. Women love confidence. Caroline says, I'll be back in 1 minute. Bet. White Shadow says, bro, your eyes look just wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure your guys' eyes look really cool too. You guys, my eyes can change from blue to green to silver to just all sorts of different colors depending on what I am wearing. I actually really like brown eyes. I think brown eyes are like some of the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. So other people who maybe have brown eyes are like, yo, your eyes are the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. And to me, it's just, I'm a big fan of brown eyes. I love that I have these eyes. I wouldn't want brown eyes, but I admire brown eyes. Caroline, I see you. Ben says, personally, I think lead with empathy and kindness, but let's see what Epic Smasher says. Heard. What did he say? I didn't get that part. Well, this is controversial. If you can't handle comments, then just ignore them. But in a way, in my opinion, react positively toward them. Yeah. Okay. So if you want me to go deeper on that, yeah. So basically, if you're not capable, you don't have the capacity to be able to deal with negative comments. Yeah. Don't look at them. Don't pay any mind. You're not here for the negativity. However, as a person, I really, really love everybody. And when there's negative comments, it's a lot of times it's that person internally. So I like to get to them. And the only way to get to them is either through kindness or to be able to make them feel seen, but in a good way. So you're right with, if you can act positively towards them, you can convert a troll. I've converted so many trolls in my life. It's hilarious. It's one of my favorite things is when you have a troll and then the troll converts to being like, yo, you're actually a nice person. Like, I actually genuinely enjoy you. It's like God saying, like, he loves people who follow him, right? But there's even a bigger attention, and they say it in whatever way they say it, but there's even a bigger attention when somebody doesn't follow God, but then gets converted. It's like, whoa, holy moly. So I also think in that same aspect is like, yo, someone may not like you. You have a million yous out there, and how you have a million yous is because we meet a million different people, and they all see you in a different light. Sometimes you'll be the hero. Sometimes you'll be the nice guy. Sometimes you'll be the good guy. Sometimes you'll be the bad guy. Whatever way they may view you, and that's okay. You just got to be okay with how people view you. You just got to not take acknowledgement because you know who you are, even if it's good or bad. Just know who you are, and it doesn't matter what people think. Here we go, going back down. Okay, Jameer says, okay, I read that. Ganesh, how is everyone doing? It's been a minute since I checked in and commented. Ganesh, we miss you, bro. Miss you, man. See what you said Summit. There we go. Sweet. Summit says, see what I said. Ganesh says, good. How are you? Absolutely amazing. Jameer says, okay, we read that. Ben says, first question. Lit. One thing, if you don't mind, we'd appreciate, not just overdoing the chat, because I want to make sure everybody feels heard. I see you, and that's your opinion, and I think that's great that you have that opinion. Everybody's welcome to have whatever opinion they want, but please don't just over spam it. First question, how do I handle negative comments online without letting them affect me. Okay, Ben, let's go back to that. Let me just make sure I get through these comments, and then we'll go right back to that in 2.2. I like that you're keeping it on point. Summit says, bro, how old are you? Super wise. That's how old I am. I'm old enough to be super wise. Okay? Super wise. I've been wise for the longest time of my days. When I was a young kid, they're like, how old are you? You know, you there's no way you're this young and you have that mindset that typically elders or people who really dive deep think like. And I always took pride in that. And how I became that way. There you go, Cody. Cody says, super wise. That's how old I am. It's good, right? That was a good answer. So it's all about how you think. But I believe that some people potentially have, and you can have whatever belief you want, guys. But I have a belief that you potentially can come back depending on how you feel. So if I were to ever, let's say, pass away or whatever it is, which I pray doesn't happen for hundreds and hundreds of years. I want to live for as long as I can. However, I believe that I was born to where my spirit, my soul has had years or thousands or whatever it may be of wisdom. And I also believe that when you listen to elders and you listen to people who have gone through it, you can learn. You can learn from them. I was always curious and I was always a learner. I wanted to know what people's successes were, what their failures were. Why? Because I want to learn from their success and I want to learn from their failures. And I want to make sure that I don't go and do their failures. And I can replicate their successes. You learn and you grow 10 times faster, even 100 times faster, depending on how many people you're listening to who have gone through it. So, yes, that is the answer. I'm super wise. I'm how old am I? I'm super wise. That's how old I am. That's good. Thank you. You were just streaming on Twitch, but you ended because of me. Don't end your stream. Continue to stream. Actually, you stream watching my stream. That'd be cool, right? And you can also raid on Twitch. So when you have an audience on Twitch, you can just raid my stream. Bring your people to here. I would love to do that for other people. There we go. 1212 says, hello, your voice is really cool. I'm using a translation, so my English might be a bit strange. I think that's lovely. Where are you from? I love that you're coming from somewhere else and you're coming to my channel, even though you may not understand it or you're learning. And I would love to learn more about you and your culture. Someone says, bro, women love me because I don't know what that means. And though I'm lean, they love me. I think it's important to have confidence. And if you know you're good at a certain sport, awesome, that's amazing. Confidence is key. Always keep that confidence. Ganesh says, your eyes, this literally reminds me when you first started streaming and someone said you had like the perfect nose or something like that. Yeah, I actually do remember that. I'm like, the perfect nose? What do you mean my nose? That was funny. I've never heard that. That I actually remember it because I've never heard that. I was like, my nose? What do you mean my nose? It was funny. It was funny, but it was good. It was good. That was hilarious. Great bring back on the memory. Dylan says Fortnite. Sweet. Fortnite's essential, Dylan. Ben says nice. Have you ever played with Epic before? That's a great question. Actually, Dylan, he has. Or Ben, he has. He's a good dude. Grimmy says, you are funny. You are funny. You are funny, Grimmy. Welcome. I appreciate you. And your mindset is hilarious. Moon says, my favorite thing is converting people. One time I converted a rage baiter. Rage quitter? Rage baiter? Or is that like somebody trying to bait you into rage? I don't know what that is. Grimmy, you are wild. You are wild. You are hilarious. I like that you have a different perspective, and that's where your mind goes. Everyone's allowed to have different thought waves, and you have a thought wave that is very specific to that. So I want you to know that if you're questioning if somebody else is, question yourself. Find out if that's of interest. Okay. Caroline said, sorry if I went for too long. Caroline, you're welcome back. Jameer, welcome here, bro. Yes, we will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. Caroline says, hi, the cow. How the chow? Hi. Moon says, anyway, how are you, Ben? If you haven't already, make sure to like this stream, guys. Super, super love you guys. Everybody who's tuning in, everybody who's watching. You're really, really cool. Okay, here we go. Bro, I'm trying to go pro in golf. Do it. Do it, Summit. Do it, bro. When you go pro in golf, let me know, and I would love to watch. I'd love to watch. I don't watch sports unless I know somebody who's either participating in it or somebody invites me to watch. So if you're actually a pro at any point, I'd love to watch. That'd be cool. All right, Moon, we'll see you soon. Ganesh says, all right, bro, take it easy. Have a good stream. Enjoy your holidays. I hope you and the kids and the family are all doing well. Take it easy. Thank you so much, Ganesh. Summit says, bro, come to India and try. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not gonna butcher it, but try some of their food. Your soul will liberate. I really want to come to India, and I definitely want to get involved in the culture and actually try all sorts of different foods. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Peyton, welcome. Sherry says, Smasher is also super smart in his gaming. Thank you, Sherry. Cody says, how do you deal with a multi-level life path decision, and how would you choose? So just to make sure I understand this correct, you're saying that you have a life path and you have multiple levels you can choose, like if you go this way, or are you saying you have multiple choices as far as paths you want to go? That's what I think you're saying, is you have multiple paths that you can choose and you're just trying to identify which one you should choose. I'm believing that that's what you're saying. And in that case, here's my answer. No path is the wrong path, because every path is going to teach you something. Now, how you can identify which one you should be going towards first, because maybe you should try all of them. Maybe you could try all of them. More experience, because we're all born with DNA, and inside that DNA is our ancestry, and each one of our ancestors have skills and they have abilities, and we can hone into that depending on what we do. So no matter what life path you're going to choose, you're going to learn something, and you're going to get that much stronger because you're learning and you're growing. So that would be the first part. The second part is, which one do you think about the most? And which one gives you this just burning desire, like, oh, I just have to do that? Like if I was on my deathbed, what one would I just be like, yo, I did this and I'm so glad I did that I didn't not pursue it? Which one could you just be on your deathbed and be like, yo, I'm so glad that I pursued that. I'm so glad. I learned a lot of things. I did a lot of things, right? So first, know that every path is going to lead to a destination. Which destination are you wanting to reach? Second is, which one gives your soul that uplifting feeling? Which one is going to give you the ability to show your future self that you gave it your all and you're happy about the outcome? Because guess what? If you chase that one that you're very, very passionate about and you're just like headstrong on it, and those other couple that you may feel like you may want to take, you can always do that in the future. You can always do it in the future. There's nothing stopping you. You secure that one, you lock in on that one, you gain all the residuals, whether it's knowledge, whether it's financial, whether it's stability, whether it's foundation. And then you reach out and you do the others. It's always an and. You can always do more. Just figure out the right timing. Figure out the right path. But make sure you have a path. Don't be the ship that doesn't have a destination, because then you'll just go from island to island. Find out where you want to be with that path. Reverse engineer. Get there doing micro goals. Once you get there, or once you've achieved enough for you to have financial and time freedom, I guess you would say, freedom of restriction of time. So that way you can, one, be financially free, but then you have no time restrictions. So that way you can be like, okay, well, I'm financially free and I have more time now. So now I can venture off and do more. Cool. There you go. Cody says, thanks, man. You narrowed it down for me. Let's go. That was a great question. Thank you for that. Summit says, bro, tell me the best advice to pull pretty girls. Be yourself. Be yourself. Go places where you can easily talk to them. Whatever your interests are, that's where you need to be. And you'll find women who also have those same interests. Because it's not just about pretty. There's billions of women who are pretty. However, if you go to places where you genuinely have interest, you're going to find that woman, because you don't need plural. You just need to find that one woman that has those same interests that you guys can grow together. You can have that same vision, grow together. So the best advice is be yourself and go places where you have interest. There could be pretty girls at a bar drinking, but is that going to be the place that you're going to probably find the woman of your dreams? Maybe, maybe not. But you're going to go where the interest lies. You'll probably, if you went to a bar where there's drinks, you're probably going to find a girl who likes to go out and drink, go out and party, go out and do all of those things after dark. And if that's what your interests are, cool, amazing. I love that. But know where your interests lie. If you are interested in entrepreneurship, well, guess what? There's pretty women in entrepreneurship. You just go to those events where they're going to be, where you're interested in. You can go to your name's Summit, you can go to certain summits, conventions, where you can learn about business, and other women are there doing the same thing, and they're pretty. Go where your interest lies and you'll find pretty women. And it'll be easier for you to talk to them because you have that interest and they have that interest. It's not just something that you're like going up to a random chick and feeding them a line that they may not be interested in. However, in addition to that, if you're wanting to pull a pretty girl and you're in the right environment to pull a pretty girl, eye contact and a nice confident smirk, like a little like confident, like smirk smile. And when they smile back and they make eye contact, that's your invite to go talk to them. Set your environment right. Eye contact, smile, invitation. That's my best advice for you. Here we go. I'm ready for the official first question. We have like 20 minutes, guys. Let's do this. That was great combos. Great combos. You guys, that's exactly what we need. We may not even touch into some of the questions we have if these continue, because you guys have them right now, right here. And I love that. I can help you in this very moment. Okay? I am ready. Kai WTM7, welcome. Household, what up? What up, household? We have a lot of you guys watching right now. You guys are all amazing across the board. Whatever platform you're on, whether you're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter X, Kick, Abstract, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Motivational Monday. If you're new here, say you're new in the chat. If you're an OG, let those individuals who are new, invite them, welcome them, and let them know what we do here, okay? Today's Motivational Monday, where I give you guys different perspectives, motivation, optimism, positivity into your current situations, into your questions, into what you're going through, okay? Summit, real quick. Summit says, bro, lust ruined my life. And because of the brain fog, I don't know what that word means, so I'm not going to say it. However, he says he's scared to get with a woman. Will his body still recover from the fog if he stops for 3 years and continue? My recommendation is you need to, the more you settle down and you don't lean into, let's say, self pleasure, the more your life force will build up, which will give you the ability to actually have that drive when your woman is in front of you. And sometimes the buildup is great. Not even sometimes. The buildup is great. Women love, how can I word it? The word would be almost like teasing. Okay? When you're like teasing not like teasing like haha funny, like teasing a woman. When it comes to that, you get her to a point where she just wants that, and then you get her to a point where you're like teasing her along the way and continue that, and you're not doing it all the time. You get them to a certain level, and then you're like, all right, maybe if you don't want to do it every day, right? So you have to like tease them up to a certain day maybe. And then once you're in there, make sure you're teasing, you're doing all that good stuff. So that way it becomes something that's very well experienced on both sides. And then in addition, you need to do things so your body reciprocates. One, stop self-pleasure. Secondly, in addition to that, is you need to take certain things that's going to allow circulation throughout your body, so that way you can perform in that way. So you'll need to take like hot cacao twice a day. I'm not a doctor, but it helps with circulation. Okay? Twice a day, hot cacao. Strongest form of chocolate. Twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Circulation is key. Do Kegel exercises. Okay? Those things are going to help you recover. You don't have to stop for 3 years. That doesn't make sense. You don't got to stop for 3 years. But you got to be disciplined. Cool. Here we go. The question is, how do I handle negative comments online without letting them affect me? We kind of went over this in the beginning, but we can kind of reiterate now. How you're going to handle negative comments without letting it affect you. I like to laugh things off. This is just my experience, guys, and there's multiple answers to this. But I like to laugh things off because ultimately you know you. And it's funny that some people think that they know you and they don't. So I like to laugh it off when people say things because I'm like, well, you don't know. You're just in here projecting yourself. A lot of times that's what happens is people project themselves. They're having these thoughts and feelings, and they're hurt, and they want other people to hurt too. And they're projecting their feelings. Maybe it's not that direct issue, but they're directing their feelings toward you. So have empathy and compassion for that individual. This is how you overcome it. Have empathy and compassion for whoever is being that way. Know that it is not you, it is them. And you could potentially help in their journey. One, by forgiving, having empathy, having compassion, and knowing that that is not who you are. And all you have to do is leave a good, amazing comment back. Don't feed into it. As soon as, what does that person want? They want that reaction. They want you to feel the way that they're feeling. And how you stop that pattern, is you show them that that's, one, not going to affect you, but to give them a different feeling that they're not accustomed to having. They're not accustomed to people reacting in a positive way. They know that it's going to get to people, so they're going to continue. But if you break that pattern by not allowing it to get to you, understanding that it's not you and that they're projecting their feelings, projecting that hate, and you just look into your soul, look into their soul, and say, I can help you, and I'm sorry you felt like that. And you don't got to tell them, I'm sorry that you feel this way, or that you're going through something. You just kill it with kindness. Laugh it off. In 100 years, that person's not going to be here. In 1,000 years, nobody's going to remember you. It doesn't matter. What matters is you being in the present moment, doing what you love to do. If you love to make content, if you're on social media, you're going to an open, wide world of people who have all sorts of emotions and feelings. And in order to control how you feel, you can't allow people to control how you feel. Don't let them control you. You control you. Okay? Summit. Yeah, I understand that completely. I understand it completely. You don't got to go without. It's not it. You just got to build up. Okay. Next question. My partner is currently going through it, which requires me to have a lot of empathy and compassion, empathy and patience. However, because of this, they're not able to show up in the way I'd like them to, which puts more pressure on me. How long should I wait before saying something? That's good. It's good. This person's going through something. They have a partner. Partner's going through something. They're trying to have empathy. They're trying to have patience. How long do they have to continue to show that patience and show that empathy before it's too much, before the pressure gets to them? And when can they actually say something about it? Well, let me tell you, we can always have empathy and we can always have patience with everyone. And if the pressure's too much, you gotta say something. First off, we gotta communicate anyway, even if you are having empathy and patience for them. You still have to communicate how you feel. Because they may just think, okay, well, they're having patience and empathy for me, and they're in their world. But they're not going to know what your world looks like if you don't speak up. You have to be the person that, even if you're going through something for someone else and you're feeling the pressure, you have to then say, hey, I am having all the patience, I'm having all the empathy, and I will continue to show up this way. And I love you so much that I would really also appreciate this support. And there's a lot of pressure right now. So as I'm having empathy and passion for you, I would love the support in blank said. That's going to relieve the pressure off me and allow me to continue to show up with empathy and patience. And if they get upset about that, if they're not in the right mindset, one, you're doing the right thing, but two, they need to come to an understanding. You guys need to have understanding, communication, patience, and empathy on both sides. Just because somebody's going through it does not mean that they can't show up. It just means that they may need a little bit more attention. We're not always going to be at 100%. Sometimes we're going to be at 70, 10, 20, 100. And maybe some days they're going to be at 0, 10, 50, 100. You have to find out on what days can we work together. If you know that 5 days it's causing a lot of pressure, say, hey, I've been handling it 5 days in a row, and I'm going to continue to have empathy and passion and compassion and patience. But 2 days out of the week, I'd really like this. Or every day, if you could do this subtle thing. Or this is a way I believe we can help each other. Speak about it. If you don't speak about it, you can't continue to show up that way, because you need to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Okay? Matthew PDX, welcome. You guys, we have 9 minutes. 9 minutes. I'm ready. Ben. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what half of that means, but cool. I love that. I love that you feel that way. Poll. The only thing I would wish is, like, one, I see you doing that, which is cool, and I can actually acknowledge that. I see that you're feeling all the ways. But do one thing for me. Just put it once. I can acknowledge you. I see it. And I see you. And I appreciate you for being here. But just put it once for me, okay? Thank you. Shadow says, yo, sup? How are you? Shadow, I am doing great. I'm here for you guys. How are you doing? What's been going on in your life? Talk to me about the wins. I see your shadow win. Talk to me about your wins this week. Okay, here's the next question. I've realized that I binge on distractions to avoid my responsibilities. How do I break this cycle? It's great. A lot of people go through this. A lot of people are currently in this situation. I don't know what that is. But just put it once for me. And the reason why I'm telling you, Paul, is because I have moderators, and if they see too much of that, they'll just mute you for like 5 minutes or whatever it may be. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be in the chat. I want you to be able to speak your mind, okay? So just put it once, so that way my moderators don't mute you, because I would really love for you to speak, okay? Okay, so here we go, back to the question. I've realized that I binge on distractions to avoid my responsibilities. How do I break this cycle? This is great. This is absolutely great. This is a great question. So everyone has their vices. It's just, how much are you going to feed into it? And you know you have responsibilities, so you're replacing it with your distraction or your binge, or you're binging on distractions, so that way you can avoid certain responsibilities. Understand? That's okay. We're allowed to do that sometimes. It's okay sometimes. It's when it takes over is when it's bad. Because sometimes we need a break from our responsibilities. Sometimes we need to have a distraction. But as you said, when it turns into a binge session where it's taking over, at that point, what we need to do is we need to introduce certain aspects to our life that's going to allow us to get back on track. So if you know your distractions and what they are, I urge you to write them down and say, okay, this is my distraction. When I'm bored, I tend to do this one. When I know that I need to do this, I do this one. When I wake up, I do this one. When I go to sleep, I do this one. I want you to, I always forget the word, but I want you to, I always want to say analyze, but it's not analyze. I want you to write down all the times that those come up and what your action is. And say, okay, when this happens, this happens. When this happens, this happens. When this happens, I want to do this. And then once you know, okay, hey, I'm about to get triggered here. I'm about to wake up and I immediately go to my phone. Well, then we need to counter that. And how we counter that is, okay, my phone, instead of it being right next to me when I sleep, I'm going to have it in the living room. So that way, in order for me to get to my phone, I have to go through blank, 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 blank to get there. So it's going to give you a little bit more time in between that distraction, and you can have more time to think and be like, okay, hey, let me choose something else. Replace that binging distraction with something that's going to be toward and catering those certain responsibilities. Make it fun. Make it fun to where responsibility turns into something fun. Make a game out of it. That's what I have to do a lot of times. And my brand manager and also my business partner know this. It's like, hey, we want to have fun and we want to get the job done. Okay, let's make it a game. If we make it a game, we're both having fun and we're doing something of purpose. So if your responsibility is taking out the trash, okay, what did we do as kids when we sat in the classroom and there's a trash can and we have a rolled up paper ball? We shot it. It was fun. We shot paper balls into the basket. So if you got to take out trash, what do you think you're going to do with your trash? Let's take a shot. Let's take a shot into the trash can. Lean up the trash can. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time, but it's going to be fun. Lean up the trash can so it doesn't knock over. Shoot that garbage into the trash can. Okay, boom, there's one. Another responsibility. Hey, maybe you need to clean the car once a week. Okay, sweet. How can we make it fun? Okay. Yo, I'm going to time myself. I'm going to see how long it's going to take me to get from blank to blank. And I'm going to try to make it faster. Or you can literally put more trash down just to be like, yo, like, for instance, you know how they do on those commercials where they'll put like a fake line of like a mess of some sorts, or when they do the paper towels, they'll put like a mess down, etc. Put a mess down and clean it up. Just figure out which one. Oh, this one takes me this much longer. This one takes me this much longer. Just make it as fun as possible. Or if you need to clean the car, what music do I just listen to that I just get zoned in, and then start singing and dancing, and then do it up that way. Or hey, you need to make some phone calls, right? And this is my situation, right? I need to make phone calls, and I need to outsource and talk to people. Okay, how do I make that fun? Well, me and my business partner were like, hey, let's see who can call the most people, or who can reach out to the most people, and at the end we'll see who wins. Or hey, I know I need to do some math. Cool. You know that you need to do homework, right? How can you make that fun? All right, sweet. So how I'm going to make my homework fun is I'm going to go ahead, and you could do it. I don't even care. Like your teacher may throw a fit or whatever it is, but at least you have fun doing it. You can make that. You could literally be like, okay, I'm going to do one page. I'm going to make this page into origami, and then I'm going to set it over here. And then I'm going to do my next page of math. I'm going to make that into an origami, and I'm going to set it over here. Then you take it into school as origami math. Fun. And what are they going to say? You can't make shapes out of your math. Yo, you haven't heard of geometry? Played on that one. I played on that one a little bit. Shadow says, do something that you want to. Yeah. Shadow says, break the distraction cycle by making tasks smaller. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't even know why that one didn't even come across my mind. It does. It's true. Noticing what you're avoiding. Yes. Add structure. Yes. Add friction to distractions. Yes. There we go. Reward effort. That's a good one. Rewarding. And being kind to yourself. Yeah. Shadow win. Yeah. I love that. I love the two that I didn't add on there, which is be kind to yourself and reward yourself. That's great. Or making the task smaller. Yeah. I was actually causing it to be bigger in some situations. Halle Berry, what up, Halle Berry? How you doing? Huh? Chris, what up, Chris? Talk to me. Talk to me. You guys, what time is it? We have 3 minutes. We have time for one more question. There we go. Ben says, just don't reward yourself before the task. Probably not. Probably not. That's right. Angelo smashing that follow button. Welcome to the Smashers. Boom, baby. Ow, ow. Holly says, so, do you have a cat or something so I can make... I don't know what that is. Oh, fan art. Oh, you just put it together. Do I have a cat or something so you can make fan art? Holly Berry, that's cool. I like that you make art. And you make fan art. Huh. I don't have a cat. I don't have pets at all. Reason being is because if we go back to responsibility, is I like as little friction in that end as possible. As little responsibilities. Like my plants, like I have a few plants. My requirement is like minimal. Like I want to put minimal work into that. So that way I can focus on the bigger things. So my plants, I only got to put an ice cube in them once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It's super minimal, super easy. So let's see. Let's see. What do I have that would be cool for you to make some fan art of? Ooh, you know what you could do? You know what you could do, Halle Berry? I was on Mr. Beast Games, okay? And on Mr. Beast Games, if you guys go on Amazon Prime, you can see it. And the new season's coming out very soon. Are you a gamer? Yeah, I'm a gamer. Yeah. I also game. I play Fortnite. However, on Beast Games, I have a very iconic coconut. And I threw this coconut so far. Like it's still rolling. That's the joke. It's still rolling. You could make some fan art of my coconut and maybe some Fortnite and myself. Hold on. Let's lock in my camera. That way it doesn't move. Okay, maybe over here. There we go. It's locked in. 1 second. Or you can do the red ball. So either the coconut or the red ball. So here's the blue coconut. This is from Beast Games. This is the coconut that I threw. And then this is from Beast Games. And this is the red ball that I ended up having to... it was when there's the challenge on the towers. Actually, this ball comes into play twice. On the towers, there was a game where it said, hope you can catch. And you have to catch these in order to win the game. And then on the second challenge... you had to be blindfolded holding this ball, and you had to drop it as close as you could to 10 minutes. And I got first place in that game. I got first place in that game where I had 10th of a second left. 10th of a second left from 10 minutes. I counted up to 10 minutes and then dropped the ball with less than 10th of a second. So there's the blue coconut. And then there's the red ball. So whichever one you want, that would be cool. I'd love to see it. Let me know when you do it. What up, the duckling? Same wavelengths as Ben. Yes, always, bro. Always. There we go. Halle Berry. Halle Berry. Okay, guys, we are at 1 hour and 1 minute. That is the stream. You guys are absolutely amazing. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Motivational Monday. If you want to be able to participate and get your questions answered, all you have to do is go to my Discord, put your question in the form. Didn't answer the final question. Was there a final question? Oh, there is. Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that right after I give this last bit. If you want your questions to be answered on next week's episode of Motivational Monday, go to Discord, fill out the form that's in our Discord where you can be anonymous. Nobody will know that you asked this question. You can put it in there, and then I don't see the questions until this very moment when they're put into the chat. Or if you don't care about it being anonymous, you can just always ask in the chat and you got me, okay? I love My favorite day of the week is Motivational Monday. Motivational Monday is the funnest day for me because I'm here for you guys. Here we go. Last question, final question of the night is, I'm sitting here thinking about 2026, and I'm terrified it's just going to be another year where I don't make much progress. How do I make sure that the next 12 months are different? Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. There's a few things you can do. First off, if you want to make sure that 2026 is your best year yet, this is what you got to do, okay? First off, you got to find out what your dreams and your vision and your desires are. Take some time, take an hour, time block this. Set an hour out of your life. Even if it takes a week, that's 5 hours at night. 1 hour every night, 5 days. Find out what your dreams, your visions, your desires are. What you want to have happen. And I'm going to give multiple answers here. There's going to be multiple answers that can feed you, okay? First off, write down what your dreams, aspirations, visions, where you want to be. Find out what that is. Find out where you want to be within that 1 year frame. What you want. And then I want you to reverse engineer mini goals to get to said place. And then you're going to start that year off by working towards knocking those out. That's the first thing, okay? The second thing, this is what I do every single year, and I love it. This idea was brought to me, and I love it. It's one of my favorite ideas. That was brought to me. I didn't come up with it. Every year, choose one thing to focus on. Like, for instance, 2025, the one thing that I chose, and it's a word. You choose one word to focus on for the whole year. I focused on gratitude. Gratitude was my word that I chose for 2025. We're now at the end of 2025, and guess what happens every day? Pretty much every day. Don't let me say every day, but pretty much every day that I wake up, I start the day off with gratitude. Then, throughout that day, I'll have gratitude moments where I'll see something small or something beautiful or something amazing or a family's interaction or lighting or the sun or the moon or a flower or air or a breath. I have gratitude moments all the time now. Before I go to bed, I think about all the things that happened today and how I'm grateful for them. When I wake up, once again, I think about how I'm grateful that I woke up. I'm grateful that I can breathe, that I can see, that I can hear, that I can touch, that I'm cognitive, that I can walk. Then I get out of bed and I just give all my thanks to God. All my thanks to God. Because none of that would be possible without Him. So I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and I have gratitude every single day. Okay? So write down where you want to be. Make micro goals to get there. Secondly, pick a word for the year to focus on. Whether it's hard work, whether it's gratitude, whether it's love, whether it's happiness, internal happiness, whether it's art or cars. Pick one thing to focus on for that year and get, whether it's knowledgeable, whether it's to just focus on that and on your free time. That's one thing that really helps me out. I'm really thankful for that. So those are those two things. And then, in addition, how to make the next 12 months different. Don't make the same pattern that you did the past 12 months. If you know that you were distracted the past 12 months, don't do that. If you know what distracted you, don't do that. If you knew a certain person distracted you, don't hang out with them as much. If you knew a certain vice held you up and you did that vice too much, limit that vice. And that could be devices. That could be alcohol. That could be drugs. That could be women. That could be social media. That could be binge watching. That can be whatever it is. Limit it. Recognize it. Don't give it that energy. That's what I would say. Okay? Naeem, welcome, Naeem. Holly says, by the way, Holly Berry is based of a cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom. What is that? Ben says, is this a Jesse Itzler reference? No, not that I'm aware of. I know who Jesse is, but this was actually taught to me by a woman who is very, very much so important in my life. Okay? She still is. But you learn something from every relationship that you're in. So I thankfully love to learn and love to grow. And that's one of the things that I'm very, very thankful that I took. And I ran with it. Ben says, you can't have everything at once, so you have to prioritize what you want. What you want first. It's true. It's true. Now, I'm super, super thankful for everyone in my life. If you have somebody in your life who's done something amazing for you, has given you something that you can carry on for a lifetime, make sure you thank them. Make sure you, after this stream, send out a text message and just say, thank you for teaching me this because I'm going to use it forever. Thank you for teaching me this because I've been using it and it's been significantly helpful. Thank you for teaching me this because I'm going to teach somebody else. Give thanks. Give credit. Give roses, as Gary Vee says. Okay? I love you guys. Motivational Monday was always a success. I'm looking forward to next week. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Make sure that every single one of you guys who showed up tonight, look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're worthy, that you're grateful for who you've become, that you're proud of yourself, that you love yourself. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm grateful for you. And you're worthy. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. We'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday, which is going to be Fortnite, 6 p.m. EST. Love you guys. Ciao. Ow, ow.